Morning, David. Can you hear me okay? Hey, no problem. Well, good morning. My name is Craig Spencer. I'm the Chief of Police for the City of Everman. That's CRAIGSPENCER. First, I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge our colleagues and partners, as well as those who have assisted us so far in this investigation, some of who are represented up here with me today. Also joining us, I have Mayor Ray Richardson, Mayor for the City of Everman, as well as Julie Evans, who is the Chief Executive Officer for the Alliance for Children. In addition to that, behind me, you're only seeing some of the support that we've been having as far as our state, local, and federal law enforcement partnership goes. Those partnerships include the Alliance for Children, Child Protective Investigations, Texas Department of Public Safety, Texas Rangers, Fort Worth Police Department, the White Settlement Police Department, Department of Homeland Security, National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, and then, of course, our specific investigative team who is up here as well. And they've done an incredible job so far in this investigation. Secondly, I need to thank all those who have volunteered their own time and effort to locate Noel Rodriguez Alvarez. Since the issuance of the Amber Alert, we've received countless tips and information, and although not all of those tips and information received have been able to support us in locating Noel, we know that everyone is doing everything that they can, and we truly appreciate those efforts and want those to continue. I've got a prepared statement here for you, and then immediately after that, I'll be happy to answer any questions that you may have. I'd like to provide a summary on the course of this investigation. First, let me start by saying that 6-year-old Noel Rodriguez Alvarez is still missing. Noel suffers from multiple disabilities, including severe development disorder, social disorder, physical disabilities, chronic lung disease, which requires treatment and oxygen at times. On March 20th, our agency was notified by Child Protective Investigations that they had received a complaint from an anonymous source that Noel had not been seen since November of 2022. Noel reportedly resided with his mother, identified as Cindy Rodriguez Singh, as well as 4 biological siblings, ages 7, 8, 9, and 11, and twin 5-month-old half-siblings, and a stepfather. The stepfather was identified as Arshdeep Singh. Cindy is the custodial mother of all 7 of these children. The family resided at a residence located in the 3700 block of Wisteria here in Everman. CPI requested that officers conduct a welfare check of Noel at that residence. Officers responded to the home and made contact with the mother. At that time, the mother advised officers that Noel has been residing with his biological father in Mexico since November. At that time, there were no indications present to the officer that would warrant any further investigation. This information was then shared with CPI. On March 23rd, CPI contacted our agency again regarding Noel. They advised that they had spoken with several other family members who also stated that they had not seen Noel since November of 2022 and expressed significant concern for the child's welfare. Additionally, CPI was able to track down the biological father in Mexico, who advised that he did not have Noel in his custody and that he had never had the opportunity to meet Noel due to being deported prior to the birth of his youngest son with Cindy. Homeland Security records supported the father's statements. Additionally, the CPI investigator had attempted to make contact with the other children at their school, but learned that those children were absent and that the mother had contacted the school to inquire about their unenrollment. CPI had attempted contact with the mother by phone and at the residence with no success. It appeared to the CPI investigator that the mother was intentionally avoiding authorities. This prompted an investigation into the child's whereabouts. Investigators attempted to make contact with the mother utilizing all available methods. Although we are prohibited from releasing specific details about prior incidents and prior investigations related to Child Protective Services, I am able to simply share that there have been prior investigations and actions against the mother. Additionally, the mother has an extensive criminal history involving alcohol-related offenses. On March 24th, investigators worked with our partners at the Alliance for Children and CPI on this case. Investigators were able to rule out that the child was in the possession of any other known family members, at which time investigators obtained an arrest warrant for the mother for the offense of false report regarding a missing child or missing person. Investigators worked with the Texas Fusion Center, which is responsible for the administration of statewide alerts, and it was determined that based upon the totality of the circumstances, an Amber Alert for Noel Rodriguez Alvarez was warranted. This alert was issued shortly after midnight on March 25th. On that same day, March 25th, investigators from various agencies worked tirelessly throughout the day on this case in an attempt to locate Noel, the mother, stepfather, and other children. Investigators responded to dozens of tips and information that was received, and at approximately 9 p.m. last night, we learned that the mother, stepfather, and siblings had all left the country on a Turkish Airways flight to Istanbul that flew out on March 23rd prior to the issuance of the Amber Alert. Noel was not listed as a passenger on that flight. For this reason, the Amber Alert was discontinued and an endangered missing persons was issued through the Texas Department of Public Safety. This change does not affect the course of our investigation. We plan to continue to investigate this case to the fullest of our capabilities. I need to be very clear that we currently do not have any physical evidence related to Noel's status as a missing person. What I do know is that we have a 6-year-old disabled boy that cannot be accounted for, is missing, and that the mother is not willing to cooperate with investigators to help us to simply assure that the child is safe, and we are desperately seeking the public's help. Currently, we have engaged with our partners at the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, who are assisting us with all of their available resources and expertise. We are asking that anyone with any amount of information related to this case or this family to please contact the Everman Police Department, and you can do so by calling our main line at 817-293-2923. And so with that, I'll take any questions that I can.
I'll just ask you right now, I appreciate you taking the time, David, to attend over at Fox 4, and you can just look over at the photographers.
Sure.
but does the family have other family ties to Turkey? What do you think took them there? And is there any cooperation? I know it's early, but
Sure.
do you think we'll be able to get from government over there? Is that possible?
Yeah, so let me start by saying we do not have any direct relations to Turkey that we can identify. However, I can tell you that the stepfather is an immigrant from India. What we are trying to figure out is whether or not the Turkish Airlines flight was its final destination to Turkey, or whether there was a connecting flight possibly elsewhere. And I'm sorry, David, what was the second part of your question? Working with authorities, is that right?
Yeah, is there anything
Sure.
And I guess if you don't know if Turkey's the final destination, it might be too early in the
Sure.
process. But yeah, if Turkey, if Istanbul would be the final destination, is there any help over there? But you kind of answered that you don't have any partners over there right now.
Yeah, well, and one of the toughest parts of this case is the fact that we are still lacking any physical evidence of what may or may not have happened to Noel. And I don't want to speculate on anything. I mean, there could be a very simple explanation of this. Noel could be in the custody of a friend or a family member that we haven't been able to identify, but without the cooperation from the family or the mother, and under these circumstances, we don't have a choice but to continue to look into it and address it as a missing person. But with a lack of evidence, it's hard to continue a criminal investigation into this, which means it's going to be difficult to engage with federal partners and foreign partners on anything further from here. We will certainly do our best to attempt that, but with a lack of physical evidence or statements from family, we don't have much to go on right now. Well, yeah, no, it's extremely critical. I mean, his disabilities are extensive, and he absolutely needs to be seen by medical staff and treated for his disabilities. One of the things that's been most concerning is the chronic lung disease, and is he receiving the treatment that he normally should receive with that chronic lung disease? He has a requirement to be on oxygen at certain points in time, and we don't know if he's getting that. Obviously, the lack of treatment with his disabilities could ultimately result in death. Therefore, it's extremely critical for us. I mean, we have got to do everything we can to try to find this child. And that's why we're seeking the public's help and trying to get more information on this. I think it's natural for everybody to be concerned when you've got one sibling that's got a case like this. I think it's naturally warranted, but I can tell you that there has not been any evidence provided to us that would indicate that there's any in danger to the other children, if that makes sense. Yeah, we're working on trying to pull all medical records and things. I don't have exact dates, but right now we're presuming, since the child hasn't been seen since November of 22, that's likely maybe the last time that he may have received medical treatment. We don't know.
Was Noel in school prior to his disappearance? I know you said November was the last time he was seen. Can you talk about where he was last seen?
Sure.
Had he been in school?
Yeah, David, that was one of the first investigative routes we tried to take, was checking with a school. Unfortunately, Noel was not enrolled in any school, so there weren't any records or school resources for us to be able to tap on that end. So he was solely in the custody of his mother.
Were the other children in school? Was that, at 6 years old, I know you're typically in school by then. Was that just intent? I don't know if you know why he wasn't in there. Were they just keeping him out for whatever reason? Were the other kids enrolled?
Yeah, it's hard to speculate on why he wasn't in school without talking to the mother. I mean, it could potentially be linked to the fact that he's got developmental disorders and social disorders that may have delayed his entry into school. That's a distinct possibility. So I don't want to speculate that there was any kind of criminal intent or malintent on him not being enrolled in school. The other older siblings were enrolled in school within the Everman ISD, and the 2 5-month-olds obviously weren't in school yet.
Right. Thank you.
Yes, sir. It doesn't matter how long ago it was or any kind of information you may have. If you have anything related to this case, if you've ever talked to this family, you know anything about the family, we want to know. We want to get that information coming in. And then, of course, somebody knows something about this family. This is not a small family. I mean, there's 7 children who have been involved. These kids have been in the school district for several years. Somebody knows something that's going on, and we want those calls to come in. So really, there's not anything specific that we're looking for as far as information, because in a case like this, any little bit of information could really snowball into something that would wind up being the result of us being able to find him. He was initially part of the investigation. However, we don't have any criminal history on him. We don't have any CPS history on him. And he is not the biological father of Noel, although they did all reside together. So we had no reason to, when we issued the Amber Alert, to tie him to that Amber Alert, like we did with the circumstances on Cindy, the mother. Any other questions? Well, I certainly appreciate all of you, and if you can really help us out in pushing this information out and trying to get the public aware of this case, we're going to keep this going as best as we possibly can. Like I mentioned, we've engaged with National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, so we're looking forward to utilizing all of their assets and resources and trying to get public education out there, and seeing what leads we may be able to come up with. So as we get any updates, we'll obviously share those with you. All right. Thank y'all.
Okay, so I want to share Noel's photo, and I'm going to share his missing poster also because this is a really concerning story. So we've been following it for the last day or so in Discord. So this is Noel's picture. Please share his information if you can, because it's really important to get his face out there. I'm really, my voice is really raspy, so I apologize for that. But this is Noel. This is a picture of Noel. Thank you, Zip, for sending prayers to him. I'm going to pull up the Amber Alert that they put out with the information on it. So it's kind of confusing because they said that he went missing Wednesday, but then they also said that his family hadn't seen him since November of 2022. So that's why we've been kind of going a little bit crazy in Discord trying to look around for information. And there was actually a post on Facebook that said he was found safe. And I messaged that Facebook profile and I asked them for proof because I couldn't find any. So just know that that is not the proper information if you come across it. Thank you, Jenny. You shared it on Twitter. Appreciate that so much. Yeah, it was very, very confusing. I'm so glad that they came live to clear it up. So I just want to get his information out. Hopefully more people will pick it up and talk about him. Give me just a sec. Okay, so we had an Amber Alert yesterday out of Rochester, and that little boy was found, thank God. But Noel here has not been. So this isn't active anymore, but I'm going to share it because it has the information on it, okay? So yes, Elaine, he has developmental delays and physical disabilities, I believe. I'm not sure what they are because they didn't elaborate. Hey, Peppermint Schmoka. Okay, so this was from yesterday, okay? So just know the Amber Alert is not up anymore. Let me put it on full screen for you. Okay, so Noel Rodriguez Alvarez is 6 years old. He has black hair. He's Hispanic, brown eyes. This is the woman he's with, Cindy Rodriguez Singh, 37 years old. She's Hispanic, brown eyes, brown hair. She's 5 foot tall. Her weight is 140. If you guys want to take pictures, please do. Okay. Yeah, so Luda says he was reported missing on March 24th. Family said they haven't seen him since November 2022. It's very concerning because of all the different information that's floating around. Yeah, so we'll just stick to exactly what they said just now in the presser. And if you missed it, it wasn't very long. Just go back and listen over. Okay, I'm going to pull up. I don't want to keep this long. I want to get right through it so that the information's there and easy to read. I'm going to show you the discontinued Amber Alert for him. Hold on. Okay, so this is the discontinued Amber Alert from yesterday. Hold on. Yeah, Nana says this was just live, so he hasn't been found. Justice Janey, lots of misinformation out there. Yeah, he's still missing. So the chief just said he's still missing. So anybody coming in who thinks he's been found, he is not. There's a poster going around Facebook saying he's been found safe, but he has not. Just so you know. If you didn't hear the presser, rewind. The police chief just spoke about it, so you'll hear it come straight from him. And guys, if anybody's like giving you a hard time in the chat, just use your wrenches. It's okay. I don't know what's going on down there. Hold on one sec. Okay, so let me pull this up because I wanted to read this. Okay, this is important. So, okay, so Las Vegas auditor says ABC 13 says he was found, but they will not disclose how. Yes, I saw the same, but I want you to know that they just held a presser. It was live in real time. And I was really sad to find out he was still missing, but he really is still missing. He hasn't been found. So whoever reported that he was found, that's not what the police are saying. So I'm going to trust what the police said. Maybe there was like miscommunication. I know that there's all kinds of different versions of this story going around, but we got to take it straight from the presser, I would say. I'm going to go based off what law enforcement says. I knew that the news put something out, right? But I'm not going to trust the media over them. So can't do that with this scenario because they just spoke. It's fresh information, like literally just happened. All right, so I want to pull this up. This is what I wanted to read. So this came from the Everman Police Department. So update March 25th, which was yesterday. This is from yesterday, 2023. And as more information comes out, I'll post it to my community posts so that you can see like, and I also, well, let me do this also. I can put my Discord link in because this is where we're looking through everything and stuff. So let me put an invite in the chat so that people can come in. If you want to talk about the missing, that's what we do. So hold on, let me put a Discord link in the chat for you guys. If you don't do Discord, that's cool. No biggie. But all are welcome. Okay. There you go. So you can grab that. So I know that we're going to probably be searching around and stuff in a little bit. So, okay. The Everman Police Department was notified by CPS regarding a missing 6-year-old child named Noel Rodriguez Alvarez, who had reportedly not been seen by family since November 2022. Noel suffers numerous physical and developmental challenges, and family members have expressed great concern for his safety. Information was received that the child may be with his father located in Mexico. Authorities have determined that information was false. The mother has since absconded, and law enforcement has been unable to locate her. Mother of the child, Cindy Rodriguez Singh, her date of birth is 1/30/1985. She's a Hispanic female, may also be accompanied by her 6 other children, ages 5 months, twins. So there's 2 5-month-old babies, a 7-year-old, an 8-year-old, a 9-year-old, and an 11-year-old. Cindy was last known driving a gray 2012 Chevrolet Silverado with Texas license plate PLS 7091. The vehicle has a very unique mural of Santa Muerte across the entire back windshield of the truck. A warrant has been issued for the arrest of Cindy Rodriguez Singh. We are seeking public assistance in locating Noel Alvarez, Cindy Rodriguez, and the other children. If you have any information related to this case, please call the Everman Police Department at 1-817-293-2923, or if you're local to that area, dial 911. Okay, let me check through comments really quick. Okay, yeah, sure. Go back through and definitely play that. The presser there is pinned to the top chat, Las Vegas Auditor. If you want to click that, that's the actual presser that I shared. So you don't even have to rewind on the stream. You can just click that right there, take you right to it. Hey, Bridge. Okay, so I'm going to end this. I just want to keep it short and sweet so that the information's there and easy to absorb. And hopefully we'll be back with good news, but I really do want to pay attention to this. And if you could please share his information, it would be so greatly appreciated. He's such a little guy. So I will come back if there's any updates for sure. Beach Lady, they're on pause. I think that should fix itself on its own. I know everybody's asking about my memberships. I hid my channel for like 3 days and it's like weird. I don't know. I don't know how to do it. I haven't even really looked into it, but I expect they'll come on their own. They'll turn on. You'll get an email, I think. You're welcome, Valerie Ventura. I'm not feeling well, so I'm going to cut it short, but thank you so much. And everybody have a great day. Please share this little boy's information. I'm going to go make a poster for him. So be looking for that on my community tab. And we'll get the word out for him. All right. Bye, guys.